Well, guys, I am going to be doing a little bit more of a day in the life here today, because I'm going to be bouncing around a little bit. So Dad's taken over planting duty since yesterday. We got 200 acres of soybeans in the ground. No corn yet. We're trying to finish the corn. But we got rained out yesterday. And we got 1/10 of an inch of rain overnight. We're going to get going again today. Ground conditions are less than ideal, but coming next week, it's going to start raining next week, and it's going to rain for 9 days straight. So we're going to just plant whether it's ready or not and get something done. So seed barn is dwindling. I've got to move some stuff around. Uncle Billy just left with the drill. He's planting this variety right now and then switching over to the Zetavos and the 2.9 Golden Harvests that we have left. He's going down planting a 9-acre field and then coming back and doing this 20 acres behind the farm. Dad is going to be planting through the planter. There's a 2.4 and a 2.6. I don't know which one's which. Golden Harvest. These are the beans that we got to plant side by side in a few places and figure out which one is going to replace. I believe it was the 2505s that Golden Harvest did away with, and so we're trying to find our replacement there. But that is what Dad's going to plant today. We also have some test plot seed on top that we got to get moved, and some 2292s. Those are the 2.2 maturity that we started with that is going where the wheat is going to go. We're saving those for last in case we have to fill in anywhere. Now I already know I'm going to be about 25 bags of beans short, but we've got enough to get through today, and then I can get a solid number on what I need for acres, and then get the rest of those beans coming. We're going to hop in the skid steer, get those pallets shifted around, and get the ones out that we need, and load the planter, which is over there. I have your seed. Are you starting down at Richards? Starting at the front field would probably be the most ideal.
So?
We gotta run this, and then halfway through switch to the other one so we have side-by-side comparison because these are the two varieties we're testing to see which one's gonna be our main next year. I don't know if you remember that 2.5 that we always plant got discontinued. So this is, one of them's a 2.6 and one's a 2.4, and we're figuring out which one we want to replace with. This one's the 2.6. Okay. You can pretty much get, like when I'm doing headlands, you pretty much got to put the nose in the fence row to plant up to 12 rows. So you're probably, I don't know. Alright, we have what we just loaded in the planter on the trailer, as well as the secondary variety. So we put 6 bags of this in the planter. The first field he's going to is 18 acres, and so that'll give us a good 8 to 9-ish acres planted of that, and then we'll switch to the other one and finish the field off with it, and that'll give us a good side-by-side for those two varieties. And then after that, he can plant just whole fields of one and whole fields of the other. It doesn't really matter to me. But now we're gonna go and I'm gonna grab a seed measuring tool, and then we're gonna go down and check on the drill. I'm sure somebody will want to know, today is May 8th. That's the day we are recording on. Look at that. That was supposed to be a rye cover that didn't come in, so I burned it off. Looking pretty good. That's going to be worked up, manure hauled on, and seeded to hay. There's about 15 acres there. Got this field that the test plot's going into. 1.5 acres of it, way down on the other end. That's worked up. We could probably plant that today, but we're going to wait until obviously seed rep can be here to do the test plot, and then as well there's going to be strips of corn in there, and so I'd ideally want that to be the last field of beans planted, which at this point it's going to be, because everything else is going to be done except for that field, hopefully by the end of the day. Alright, so this is obviously a fun field. We got some trees go around here, garage, there's a foundation to a house over there, so yeah, it's definitely interesting. Doesn't grow much, but at the end of the day it is a piece of dirt, so it's a little squishy. Alright, I found some. They're about 1.25 inches to 1.5 inches, so that's alright. Now with a drill, you don't usually have this problem with a planter unless you're in heavily compacted stuff, but you're trying to minimize the amount of beans on the ground because it's just a drill. You're basically just spilling beans all over the ground and hoping some get in the seed trench. So from what I see just walking around, it's fairly minimal. I'm okay with that. There's one here, I'm guessing it's a tire track. There's a lot more beans on the ground than any other row. I'm guessing there's a tire track or something right there. But the rest of them, it looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. So we'll see how many acres he's done, how much seed he's got left. See what it's going on. Your depth looks good. If you check the seed, see if it's coming out fairly even or...
I have to check it. Get the head.
Got one row out.
It's going to be a lot faster. Got these two inside, ones would go over.
That one looks like it's a little more even.
Yeah.
Alright. Let me know if you need another bag or two.
Didn't tell me that the radio, the fan, nothing worked.
The fan doesn't work?
No.
Well, he's all set out here. He might need some seed. He's gonna call if he does. I'll run it out here. So now we're gonna go down and help Dad get started, see how that looks, because the field he's going to first, he's planting into volunteer wheat that we just kept as a cover. So I'm kind of interested to see how the planter does in that. Dad's just starting to pull out with the planter. I have to do spraying today, so I'm going to get this pulled out, fueled up, grease the wheel motor seals, and then park it over there ready to load. So that I'll get her pulled out and pulled over by the shop. I also forgot, I also have to unfold and change all my tips because I'm starting with Liberty to this afternoon, and so we're gonna be spraying at 20 gallons to the acre instead of 15, so that involves switching the tips over. That keeps my ground speed up so that I don't have to slow down, which will come in handy when we gotta blow through some of these wet holes. And also I had my fresh water filling, and it is now full. So I gotta go shut the water off. There's a lot of water that overflowed. Whoops. So today we're gonna be spraying out, if the fields get planted, we're gonna be spraying out 1.5 of those tanks, about 2,300 gallons or something like that. So gotta keep the water flowing. It's back in here is where the shutoff is for that. Right here. Alright, so all we gotta do to switch the tips over is simply rotate the nozzle bodies around to where that one is, that brown one's on top. So just do that. I think there's 48 of them on here, and then we'll be ready. But there's also something else. Last couple times I've finished spraying, I've noticed some drips coming from here. I think this valve might be cracked a little bit, and so we just got to close that up. Simple thing, no big deal. Alright, I didn't show you guys anything over here yet this morning, but I got all my loads laid out for the day. Same over here. That's supposed to be load 1, but we're going to skip out on that one and go straight to load 3, I think it is. We're going straight to the Liberty stuff since we're in the heat of the day at this point. Liberty is meant to be sprayed right in the middle of the daytime when it's the hottest, and then everything else pretty much likes cooler temperatures, so we can wait till tonight or later on. That was a prepped batch. 1 and 2 I didn't get out because we have a last minute change of plans, and then a last minute change back to the change of plans. Enlist and Roundup for terminating our covers that Dad is going to be planting into today. Once he's done planting, then I can spray them. For now, we are getting the no-till and the tilled planted beans sprayed because the one was an organic field. It's getting weedy, so we are running a quart of Liberty, quart of Roundup, and obviously AMS. So I'm gonna get loaded up with the 20-acre one, which I think was load number 2 or 3. Load number 4. Nope, 5. So I'm gonna do that one first because it's close by, and by then Dad ran home to get lunch, check the field, see if it was ready or runnable, and so he'll be back hopefully by the time I got that load run out, and then we'll see how time goes. I may load again and then go down and bring him seed. Anyway, we're looking at this one. We need 1.5 bags of AMS. I'm going to dump them in the inductor before we even start loading because that's the time consuming part. And then I believe we have to split up that. Yeah, we just need a half a gallon out of the one jug of Liberty, and then the other 2 are going in, and same amount of Roundup, so 5.5 gallons. Alright, everything's hooked up, valves are all open. I can do that because there's nothing in the sprayer right now to backfeed. So now we just get the pump going. Hello? Alright, just got a call from Uncle Billy. He needs another bag of seed. I'm gonna run that down to him real quick, and then we'll get right back to... I just got back, got the truck hooked on the trailer. Dad's heading out. Ended up running down there twice because I sent a bag of seed down there, and then made sure he could finish, and then came back. Got the extra bag of seed I brought down there with me unloaded. Then he called, said the tractor blew a hydraulic hose, so I went down there and got him. Now he's off. He's gonna go eat lunch, let the tractor cool down because it's got to pull the hood and then get the hydraulic line replaced. So now I'm back to finally loading the sprayer and hopefully getting some spraying done. It is a bit breezy. I've got one field I can do now. That's the load I was planning on loading, but we may have to wait on the rest of them. Wind is 15 mile an hour right now. It does have its moments when it calms down. I can do most of my Liberty work without causing problems with wind. and then after that, I'm gonna call it quits. The wind's gonna die down around 7, and then I can go out and finish. Probably do my second to last Liberty load, and then also go out and run that cover crop termination. Open up my rinse line, and then right now it's bypassed, so when I open this, it pushes water in. Kind of just helps get the AMS broke down a little bit. Let it stir around, and I let that fill for a minute. Let it get like right up in here. And then when it does, I close the bypass valve, and so then it draws instead of pushes in because of that fancy pants little thing there called a Venturi. Pick up a little bit of speed. Okay, so I was rolling through pretty quick trying to get that mixed, because what I didn't notice was while we were gone, this tank, the water level in the tank was equal with about 150, 200 gallons in there. So about half of my water during all my running around had gravity fed into the sprayer. And so I only had half the amount of time to get my mix made up. I had about 75 gallons left of pumping left to do when I finished mixing, so that was pretty good. We got this partial I'm gonna set back on the pallet. And then when we get back, I'll do the ammonium sulfate for the next one, and so on and so forth. So basically rinse and repeat over and over again until we are done. Not bad. And it kind of threw me off guard because regular Liberty is like pink and the generic is blue. So I don't know if they have some sort of weird patent on the pink color or what, but the generic is a different color. Just finished spraying. We did this little 20-acre side here. I'm showing you the beans if you can see them. Yeah, you can roll them on camera. They're there. They're doing well. They're just starting to push a trifoliate. They got the cotyledons. Looking good. They were yellow. I think we got out here and scouted them like the day they came out of the ground. And it looks like they've pulled out of that just fine. So as you can see, it was organic. And I am so happy I don't have to be out here with a cultivator. This was way, way faster. We are going to be battling this all season long though. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. First pass of Liberty done. Just emerged pretty much, so. But I do want to show you, this side hasn't been organic ever. This is our no-till into rye, into bean stubble. So this is beans on beans. And we put rye in 50 pounds to the acre last fall. And then right after we did the wheat, so like middle of October, and then planted beans right into it, and then killed the rye. This got 1 quart to the acre Power Max 3, I believe it was. I had to hire this out actually because that was broken at the time, and I did not want this sitting, not getting terminated. So there are a few light spots where there are spreader tracks. Man, it is really hard to talk with the wind. But for the most part, the field looks like this. It's got a really good stand here, it looks like. So I'm excited to see how this goes through the year, but it's looking good. Give it another week or two and you'll be able to see very distinct green lines through the rye. Hopefully this rye will flatten out pretty quick and start breaking down, give us that nutrients that it sucked up out of the ground over the winter. The one thing that rye is known for doing is it'll pull the nitrogen up out of the ground because nitrogen leaches very easily, so you lose it. Rye will suck it up, hold on to it, and then when you terminate it, as it breaks down, it releases it again. So these beans will be getting later season nitrogen when they need it from the rye instead of the nitrogen just vanishing, going into the river and stuff like that. So, yeah. There's one thing I want to show you on the other side though, because about 3/4 of the way through, I put that row cleaner down, and I really like the results. Alright, so we're over on the other side of the field now. We're gonna walk out here in the middle. Headlands even got a good stand of beans on them, which is kind of unusual. We're already seeing some deer damage. What you'll see, deer will come up and they'll just bite off this top section, and you'll see just a stem sticking out of the ground. And usually that's really bad in the back of this field, so we will be watching that. We'll be getting our deer permits and harvesting quite a few. So here it is. You can see a distinct line where the row cleaner was, and you can tell it's a row cleaner because there's two rows right next to each other that have it, because it's an end row. And the beans have a substantially better stand, I think, in this row that the row cleaners are in compared to over here. Alright, so we're going to take a little bit of a break from spraying for a while. It is getting pretty breezy out there, and I don't want to lose the chemical. One, the chemical's expensive. Two, there is wheat down there next to one of the fields that I got to spray, and it ain't our wheat, so that is definitely not a risk I'm willing to take. And then obviously the rest of the spraying, gotta wait for the planter to roll over. So I think we did a good job there, and I'm going to go haul some seed down to Dad, and then we'll come back a little later, a couple hours. I think it's supposed to die down and get back to spraying. So now we just loaded in, I believe it's 2472 Golden Harvest bean. He just finished planting the 2.6s out here. He's skipping the headlands and doing the headlands last so that he doesn't pack them in when he's turning around. Just something to do when it's wet out. So he's gonna take off in a minute. He's changing the variety in the monitor. This field's 18 acres. He should have had about 8-9 acres worth of seed the first time, so should only be about 8 or 9 acres left. And then there's a 14 behind it, and then he comes back towards the farm, goes past the farm, goes the other direction, does 2 fields that are total about 20 acres. And then, if the drill ain't fixed and done yet, he'll move to the 20 behind the farm probably. I'm running in my house real quick. I'm gonna grab something to eat because I'm pretty sure Uncle Billy's gonna call and say he needs help taking the hood off that tractor, unless he somehow can take the line off or find the line with the hood on. Then he probably won't call me. As you can see, Dad has returned. So that 18 beans, apparently, I just mentioned that I had 15 acres of overrun corn, so the 14 behind it is going to corn. So, and then also 6 acres that I planned on going corn on corn, just because of the overrun originally, that will now go to beans. So Dad is gonna go out and plant, do the last of the cover crop fields that are going to beans, and then he will maybe go and try that 6, because that 6 is a wetter one, and hopefully he can do that one tonight. That will just leave, other than that 13 that might end up prevent planting, I don't know, we'll gotta figure out how dry it gets. Other than that, that just leaves 55 acre field. Uncle Billy should have that 44 together here shortly. I went down and checked, and it's just a normal hose. There's a little rubber short hose about that long on top of the hydraulic pump, and we blow it every single year. And so he's just going and getting that. We've gotten pretty good at taking it apart, putting it back together. Eventually we'll figure out which hose actually is supposed to go on there so that it doesn't blow. There's 8 rows that are running the 2 4s, and then the other 4 are running the 2 6s. And then we have a few bags of the 2.6s left over there on a pallet. I'm going to put the trailer away because we don't have enough pallets of seed to need it anymore. I'm waiting. We got these Zetavos. When Uncle Billy gets back with the drill, these are going in it. And then we also have 7 bags of the 2922s, I think they are, Golden Harvest, that are going to finish up the field that those Zetavos start out in. And then after that, in the barn, all we are left with is the Dairylands, the 2.5s, which we're saving as much as we can for that test plot field so that we have side-by-side comparison, same soil types, stuff like that. And then that is it for bean seed in here. So after today, I will know how much to get, and I will get it here because it looks like we might be able to plant that test plot field in 2 days here. Our chances of rain tomorrow keep dropping, so we will maybe be out Friday. Alright, the drill's moving again. Uncle Billy's on his way up to fill up with seed to head to this backfield here. And then Dad has moved, I think I already told you guys, over to the other cover crop field. So it is now starting to die down. I'm gonna start loading the sprayer while Uncle Billy's on his way up. And then go out, finish those Liberty runs. And then I'll probably do the field that Dad's in currently. But even with the reduced wind, it's still 5 miles an hour out of the west, directly coming at the one guy's lawn that we farm up to, and I really don't want to be responsible for destroying that. So I'm probably going to wait on that field, do it in 2 days probably. Hopefully the wind shifts and it'll be a little better. So anyway, I'm going to start loading. Need 2.5 bags of AMS and half of that. 3 jugs and then a half a jug. Sprayer's loaded. I just ran seed out to Dad, so he's gonna be all set for the rest of the night. Uncle Billy is drilling beans, and I'm gonna go out and spray now. So I got 3 loads to run out. One is contingent on Dad finishing, which should be, he's only got 10 acres left at that farm, so he should be all set within the hour. So I'm gonna go spray and finish the night up. 7 something right now, so hopefully we'll be eating dinner by 10. Alright, Liberty runs are done. Got 2-3 fields to do roundup and list in. I'm gonna go ahead and do that field I wasn't feeling comfortable doing. The wind is completely gone now, so I'm more than comfortable to do that. We got about 200 acres of overrun of Liberty, so 225 gallons of that. 2 reasons. One, I overfill usually by about 50 gallons. That gives me a 2-acre leeway. And then number 2 is that field is not a true 70 acres, and that's what I mixed for. So that's why we ran out, or we didn't run out, and we have extra. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the 20 gallon per acre carrier rate, and we're just going to add to that for our next load. I gotta see what it is, and I gotta make some adjustments. Sorry I don't have lights in here. You guys are probably gonna be, this is probably gonna be the last clip of today. So that 32 acre load was the original one. That is actually gonna be 18 now, so I'm gonna adjust all those numbers. And I'm gonna start mixing. I'm gonna get these 2 loads out, and then I'll see you guys later. Well, I got done spraying by 10 last night. But then I went and hopped in the drill and helped Dad finish planting beans, so I got to bed at 1 in the morning last night. It's now 9 o'clock. Just got up. Hasn't rained last night, and it doesn't look like it's one of those days where it's gonna rain, as you can see. I don't know. But anyway, I got a few things going on today. That's not in this video, so thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time.